Thank you for joining us. Welcome to LumioseStation.
What's up, LumioseStation, and welcome back to another episode of the Pokémon DataDex with me, TheOneIntegral. Last week we covered the one and only Mega Alakazam, and this week for our final sort of Mega from our Mega time, whatever you want to call it, is Mega Beedrill. I saw quite a few suggestions for it in the comments, so that's what we're going to be covering. But next week we're back to some normal Pokémon for a bit, and then obviously another Mega when we hit 65. Was it 65 or is it? It's 65, yeah, why not? We'll go for 65. But since we're going to be covering some normal Pokemon, I need to get your guys' opinion on what to cover. So, for next week we have a vote here, either for Clefable or Wigglytuff, looking at a Fairy type here, as well as commenting down below voting for this one. It'll also be helpful if you can leave some suggestions for future weeks, because, you know, generally when I go to choose Pokemon, or choose a vote, I should say, I just, you know, pick a random pairing, but I want to know what you guys want to see. What Pokemon do you want to see? And then I'll put two up, you know, say two of them are really wanting to see-ish. Is that a word? That's not a phrase at all, don't worry. Say two Pokemon you guys want to see a lot, and I'll put them up for a vote. The one that gets the most will be covered next week, etc. But you guys get the idea, so comment down below saying Clefable or Wigglytuff and suggest some more Pokemon for future episodes. But for now, let's start covering Beedrill. So Beedrill is quite an underwhelming Pokemon, really. It's a bug poison type, is the Poison Bee Pokemon, and is number 15 in the National Pokédex, coming very early on. It's one of the bug types from Generation 1 really, and it's been around a hell of a long time. It's never really been too much to look at, because it's just been a bug Pokemon, you know, nothing too much is, you know, there's nothing to look at really. It stands at 3 foot 3 inches or 1 meter tall, and weighs 65 pounds or 29.5 kilograms, so certainly not your average bee. It's in the bug egg group for breeding, and the male-female split is 50-50 each way. Evolution chain wise, being a bug Pokemon evolves very quickly, with Weedle its initial stage evolving into Kakuna at level 7, and then Kakuna further evolving into Beedrill at level 10. So technically, you can have a level 10 Mega Evolution, which is pretty cool to think about it. Base stat-wise for Beedrill, as I said, he's fairly underwhelming. I shouldn't say he, but it is fairly underwhelming. Health points are 65, which are fairly low. Attack is a 90, which is his highest stat here. It's only 90. Some people have 90 as their lowest stat. Defense is 40, which is it's really low. It's painfully low. It gets hit by any rock move that's gone down, basically. Its special attack is just higher at 45, not that you really want to think about using it. Its special defense stat, however, is a bit better at 80, so you actually can take some reasonably decent special defensive hits, who knows. And its speed is a bit mediocre at 75, so looking at Beedrill's base stats, nothing to shout about really, they're bad stats. If I had to give it out of 10, I'd give it a rating of 2 or 3. They're not good at all. Ability wise, for Beedrill, there is one basic ability and then the hidden ability. The basic ability is Swarm, which powers up bug type moves when Beedrill is on low health. This isn't brilliant because generally, as I said, it can't take more than 1 or 2 hits, so you're not going to be on low health too long, so it's not going to help you too much. Whereas its hidden ability, which is Sniper, powers up critical hits, and this is very helpful, because your crit's going to be powered up. If in the lucky chance you manage to get a crit, it's going to do even more damage, and it's just going to allow you to maybe turn the tide of a battle, who knows. But let's move on to look at Beedrill's typing, which is a bug poison type. So it's a good type actually, really. It resists 5 types, which is grass, fighting, poison, bug, and fairy, and is weak to 4 types, which is fire, flying, rock, and psychic. And it takes neutral from all the rest, so it has 5 resistances and 4 weaknesses. So that's not too bad in my opinion. It has a good few resistances. It's got a few weaknesses, but those aren't too bad really. At least it doesn't only have like 2 resistances and 1 weakness, because then it would take neutral from a load of types and would still do a lot more damage. Generally, if you look at this, you're going to take half damage 5 out of 18 times. 5 out of 18 now, so I'm not going to do maths here, but you get the idea, and you're going to take more damage, 4 out of 18, so I don't know, I just prefer typings that have more resistances than, just sort of having like 2 resistances and 1 weakness and then the rest neutral, if you guys understand me there. But if we then take a look at Beedrill's moves and what moves it might use. So first we have Poison Jab, which it learns at level 37 or TM84. It might be a different level, or else I haven't checked it, but it's about that level. And again, you can look by TM anyway. TM84, which is Poison Jab. It's physical. It does a lot of damage. It's got your Poison Stab as well, and that'll be even more important when we actually get on to look at Mega Beedrill. and it can poison as well, I'm pretty sure, so Poison Jab is an all-round good move. Then at level 45 it learns Fell Stinger. Now this is a fairly weak move, but it does have the unique property of if you actually manage to take an enemy out with it, you can get an attack boost, which is brilliant because say they're on low health anyway and you're pretty much guaranteed to kill them with whatever, you may as well kill them with Fell Stinger, get that attack boost and be able to carry on doing damage to the team. However, it's not as good as other moves just because of the fact that, you know, it doesn't do much damage, and then not you know, in most situations you're going to be using Beedrill or indeed mostly Mega Beedrill, they're going to be on full health, I guess. So Fell Stinger could be used, but it's not as good in my opinion as some other moves. Then we have TM17 Protect. This move is pretty much vital on a Mega Beedrill. You must run this, almost, you know. We'll talk more about that when we get there. Then we have TM75 Sword Stance. This is sort of a risky move to run on Beedrill, as we discussed, because it doesn't have very high defense. So you could try and go for it. This would be in the case where you force a switch out, so you know, maybe you go on a Pokemon that's almost dead, or you're obviously going to be able to take out sort of thing. So you know, send them in. You can Sword Stance while they switch out, and then hopefully you can, you know, get the jump on the next Pokemon and take them out. Who knows though? Who knows? Then we have TM89 U-Turn. This is your other bug type stab. Again, stab, so that's going to be working with the Mega's ability, as I'll look at in a minute. But U-Turn also takes you out of battle. So say you have an opponent you're not going to be able to take out with one hit, you can U-Turn, get a good bit of damage on, and then you can also get back to your party and be safe. So that's always a good thing there. The fact it's also a pretty good bug type move as well. You can learn X Scissor and use that on your Beedrill, but U-Turn is probably the better choice in general. Plus, as we'll look at with the Mega, you don't really need any more high power than U-Turn. Then we have two tutor moves here. The first one is Drill Run, which is learned in Tutor by Auris. It's a ground type move, so it's usual coverage for sort of electric types, rock types if you need to, and it does fairly good damage as well. You're not going to get stab, but it still does do damage. Then we have Knock Off, the final move here, which again is Tutor. It's dark, it was buffed in Generation 6, which does a lot of damage, and of course it removes the enemy's item if it can be removed, so it's generally a very good move. It's a very good pick to run on Beedrill. So that is the moves done for Beedrill. Now let's take a look at Beedrill's Mega Evolution. So, Mega Beedrill. It's a bug poison type, same typing as normal Beedrill, so there's no need for us to go with type effectiveness because it's the same, so it's fairly good. The only downside to Beedrill and Mega Beedrill is they haven't got the defense. It hasn't got the defenses to boost it up. The typing's good, but the defenses just don't help it out at all. Dimension-wise, Mega Beedrill, it stands now. It's gotten bigger. It's now 4 foot 7 inches or 1.4 meters tall, and weighs 89.3 pounds or 40.5 kilograms. So it's gotten a little heavier too. The Beedrillite, the Mega Stone for Mega Beedrill, can be found in Sea Morval in the storage hold at the back of the ship. So you got to go through like all the ship, get all the keys, and eventually you'll get access to the storage hold, and then the Mega Stone is just sort of down there past a surfing area, I do believe. So there we are. As you can see, when Beedrill Mega evolves, it gets this very long, almost lance-like thing. Its stingers just turn into lances. It gets the other stinger down on its main abdomen, 2 extra sort of side stingers, if you want to call them that, and it just looks awesome in my opinion. Now, base stats for Mega Beedrill. You can see health points don't change because they're always, they always stay the same. Attack, it goes up to 150. So it goes from, what was it, 90? I think it was 90, wasn't it? No, yeah, 90. It goes from 90 to 150. That is a boost of 60 in attack. That's a hell of a big boost. Its defense stays the same at 40. Its special attack actually drops by 30, and this is to just give it more boosts on the other stats, because its special defense is 80, which is the same as normal Beedrill. However, its speed is now gone up to 145, which is a boost of 70 there. So it's got a boost to 70, boost to 60, and a drop of 30 to bring to 100. And this makes him very powerful indeed. He's very fast, he's very attacking, he's going to do a lot of damage. You have lost your special attack stat, but who uses a special Mega Beedrill? If you guys use a special Mega Beedrill and actually won a game with it, let me know, please. But yeah, those are the base stats of Mega Beedrill. A very, very fast Pokemon, and a very offensive Pokemon as well. It does a lot of damage. It does a hell of a lot of damage. Now, Mega Beedrill's ability, I've mentioned a couple times already, stab moves, and that's because Mega Beedrill's ability is adaptability, which powers up moves of the same type. So normally stab does 1.5 times damage, however adaptability brings stab up to a 2 times boost, so it's going to do extra damage as well. And this makes it even more powerful. It's Poison Jab and it's U-Turn, it's going to do a hell of a lot more damage. Fell Stinger if you're using it, and X Scissor if you really want, it's going to do a lot more too. Anything they get stab on, it's going to do a lot of damage. And that's really it for Mega Beedrill there. Let's look at some sets. Now, normal Beedrill is pretty useless. I'm going to throw out that right now. Normal Beedrill is pretty darn useless, but we are going to look at a set for it, because why the hell not? So the moveset here we have is Poison Jab, U-turn or Fell Stinger, Drill Run or Knockoff, and then Swords Dance. Ability here is Sniper, Nature is a Jolly or Adamant one, held item I've put a Life Orb or a Focus Sash, and the EV is going to be maximum attack, maximum speed, and the rest in special defense. So, let's talk through the move choices. Poison Jab, because it's your stab, why not? U-turn or Fell Stinger, up to you which one you choose here. I'd recommend U-turn, but Fell Stinger is an option, and obviously you get stab on that as well. And then Drill Run or Knockoff, it's up to you which one you want to use here. Drill Run for the coverage, or Knockoff for just the general, getting more coverage as well, but knocking you off items as well. And then we have Swords Dance. You could get rid of Swords Dance and put Drill Run or Knockoff there, and just have all of them, but it's up to you. I put Swords Dance there as an option, because you could try and force a switch, use a Swords Dance, you're on +2 attack, and then try and use that to do some extra damage if you could. Ability is Sniper because, as I said, Swarm isn't very useful because of your low defenses anyway, and if you're going to get a critical hit, why not power up a little more? The Nature is a Jolly or Adamant one. Jolly for a bit more speed. I'd recommend Jolly if you're going to go for the Swords Dance, or if you want to just have 4 attacking moves, go for Adamant, and you can even run a Choice Scarf on that set, or a Choice Band, to see how well that would work, who knows. But the held items I chose were Life Orb and Focus Sash, because I figured Swords Dance with a Life Orb do a lot of damage, basically. Or Focus Sash, because you could go in, whatever the opponent was, you could Swords Dance, get +2 attack, your Focus Sash would go off, and then you'd be able to next turn, if you're faster than the opponent obviously, so it'd be all about switching in at the right time. If you're faster, go for your Poison Jab, +2 attack, hopefully take them out, who knows. But that's really it for Beedrill there. If we look at the second set for, okay, well, I didn't talk about the EVs, but EVs are fairly standard for Beedrill. Maximum attack and speed because that's all we're using. Rest in special defense because there's no point in boosting up that measly physical defense stat at all. The move set for Beedrill, or for the second set rather, which is the Mega Beedrill one, is Protect, U-turn, Poison Jab, and then Drill Run or Knockoff. Ability is Sniper, like previously. Nature, again, like previously, is Jolly or Adamant. Held item this time is the Mega Stone, the Beedrillite. And the EVs, again, they're the same as before. Maximum attack and speed, get all the power, all the speed, and just the rest in special defense to boost it up a little bit. So the moveset this time, Protect is almost a mainstay on Mega Beedrill. If you don't run Protect and you're using Mega Beedrill, you are running a mighty high risk, because the speed boost does not apply on the first turn, okay? So it doesn't apply on the first turn, so you're going to have to deal with 75 speed the first turn, which isn't very fast, so most Pokemon aren't going to outspeed you, and your defense is very low, so they might even be able to take you out in one turn, even after you've Mega'd, because your defense doesn't go up. So it's risky not running Protect, but generally, the way you do Mega Beedrill is you Protect up on the first turn, wait till you get that speed boost for the second turn, and then you can U-turn, Poison Jab, Drill Run, Knockoff, get all the power off. You could try and counter-predict your opponent, because your opponent might predict that you're going to go for Protect and think, okay, I'm going to set up with, whatever. So if you think, okay, I'm going to try and counter-predict them, so then they'll go for just Swords Dance and not actually attack you, which gives you a free turn to use the boosted attack you now have to use for a U-turn or a Poison Jab or whatever, and that might even allow you to take them out that turn, and it might just completely eliminate their threat at all. It's up, it'd be up to you guys to see if you can cat predict at all. Ability is Sniper, just because if you, generally you don't want to not Mega Evolve your Beedrill. You want to just Protect and Mega Evolve as soon as you're out in the field, but Sniper is more useful than Swarm in that situation anyway. Nature, Jolly or Adamant. Jolly is probably the better choice because attack is 150, speed is 145, so go for Jolly just for the bit of extra speed, just so make sure I outspeed most things. Held item is the Mega Stone, and EVs, it's obvious there. So how do you use Mega Beedrill? You go in, you Protect, you Mega Evolve, you can try and counter predict the first turn if you want, and then you just go U-turn, Poison Jab, Drill Run, Knockoff, whatever you need. Switch out if a big threat comes in, or you could just go for Suicide. You're going to outspeed most things, so you could try and take something out in one turn, or hope for the crit and take it out, or you can just try and do as much damage as possible if you need the damage. It's up to you, you gotta predict it as you go. But that's kind of it for that set, and that's kind of it for Mega Beedrill in general. Its focus is very narrow. All it can do is be an offensive Mega Evolution, and the normal Beedrill doesn't really have a focus because it's just not going to work at all. But that's going to be it for this episode of the Pokemon DataDex with me, TheOneIntegral. Be sure to vote for next episode, which will be either Clefable or Wigglytuff, and suggest some more Pokemon for me to cover in the future down below. What do you want to see your votes on? But for now, guys, I'll be seeing you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.